Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Jalen Rose is one of the most respected voices in sports, if we're talking about basketball, right? I think he is one of the most respected guys out there. I really love a lot of the takes that he puts forward. He usually comes at things from a very nuanced angle, and he always tries to make people think about things differently. Usually, if there's a consensus out there about a particular topic or situation, whatever, he usually comes at things from a different angle. And by the time he's usually, illustrating his points, at the end you're like, I didn't think about it that way, right? He's a very thoughtful, kind of deep thinker, and I also like the way that he handles kind of contentious situations with tact. For example, if you think about the spat between Stephen A. Smith and Kwame Brown. Right? They were going back and forth on social media, on the internet, right? Whatever. And Jalen Rose was one of the people that approached Stephen A. Smith and told him, he said, listen, you can say whatever you want about a person, but please don't use the term scrub when you're referring to athletes. And given the way that he approached Stephen A. Smith, and it was a very contentious moment between Stephen A. Smith and Kwame Brown, Stephen A. Smith ultimately changed his position and he stopped using that word, right? So Jalen Rose was able to sort of handle that situation in a very diplomatic way. However, when the season started, Jalen Rose was one of the people that felt that the Lakers had the possibility to be the best team in the Western Conference. Now, obviously, I also have to think, we have to be fair, that I don't think anyone expected the Golden State Warriors to get off to the start that they've gotten off to. I mean, this team has just been sensational. The Phoenix Suns, maybe some people out there would have been like, yeah, well, we kind of saw this coming, given the fact that they were the team that represented the Western Conference. Chris Paul said he was even hungrier this season coming back, feeling as if that, he felt as if he should have won an NBA championship. So I don't think a lot of us are as surprised about the Phoenix Suns as we are about the Golden State. I mean, the Golden State Warriors have basically taken over the NBA. Them and the Phoenix Suns, I mean, these guys are just, been world beaters. But Jalen Rose is one of the people that was picking the Lakers. And after 24 games of the season, basically a quarter of the season gone, the Lakers currently are a 500 team with a 12-12 record. I don't think that's anything that any of us would have expected. Even me, I didn't expect them to be a 500 team, right? I think even the worst critics did not think the Lakers were going to be a 500 team. So recently, I was listening to him, I think on the show that I think is one of the NBA shows that they have there with Stephen A. Smith, Mike Greenberg, Jalen Rose, and I forgot the other personality. Usually is Mike Wilbon. Sometimes I think they have Magic Johnson on there. Anyway, they were talking about teams, and there's a segment where Stephen A. Smith was giving his raw opinions on the Lakers, and Jalen Rose said some things about the Lakers that really, surprised me. So before we go too far, what we want to do is play that clip of Stephen A. Smith and then Jalen Rose ultimately giving his take, and we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. So before we go too far, take a listen to that. Take a listen to that here.
What move do you expect the Lakers to make?
I expect the Lakers to fire Frank Vogel.
Wow.
Man.
I am not advocating it by any stretch of the imagination. I like Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel has been a top-notch defensive mind in the NBA. I think that he's a champion with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's already delivered that, and I think he deserves the opportunity to continue going forward. But these are the Lakers. This is Tinseltown. We're looking at LeBron James, 36, ain't getting any younger. We're looking at Russell Westbrook, 32, ain't getting any younger. We're looking at Anthony Davis. We've got questions about chemistry. We've got questions about commitment and dedication. We damn sure got questions about their defense, which has been ranked in the bottom 5 throughout this season. And if you're asking me the question, if this continues, again, that's the caveat, not right now, but if this continues, Frank Vogel, in my opinion, will not be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers come All-Star break.
It's already happened. LeBron has brought a championship to the Los Angeles Lakers. And you invest your roster in winning right now when you get a player in his 19th season. But you guys are right. And it takes a man to admit when I'm wrong. This team ain't winning the West. They've had the worst start possible for a team that had the easiest schedule in the NBA. Now they have the toughest schedule remaining. They're going to be below 4, which is 5 or lower, if and when they make the playoffs. This team ain't winning the West.
But they a lot of time between now and then. They can make any number of moves.
No.
They can make a coaching change.
No.
They could try and turn over the roster.
They've already made the moves. Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Julius Randle.
Right.
Brandon Ingram. Lonzo Ball. Kyle Kuzma. You invest right now into a team to win it all. But when you're the Lakers and you already have 17, it's easy to take that for granted.
Now, in that clip, obviously a lot of things were said. Obviously, you heard the comments that Stephen A. Smith said about, the current Lakers coach, Frank Vogel, how he feels as if this team continues to play like this by the end of the year, he feels as if that the Lakers are going to make a coaching decision, make a change at the coaching spot, and probably going to get a new coach. Now, some people may think, really, you think that could happen? Well, it has happened in the past, right? LeBron is one of these guys that's not going to sit there on his laurels if he feels as if his team is not moving forward. You don't have to go too far in looking at the team. The 2013 or 14, whatever coach he had, David Blatt, who I think made an NBA championship round with them, but they lost. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, they lost. And I think the following season, after a blowout against the Golden State Warriors, it was a very bad loss. Next thing you know, he was gone, right? So this is not something new. Now, that coach didn't win an NBA championship, but he made it to an NBA championship round, and he was fired. So I wouldn't put that past LeBron, right? I wouldn't be so shocked like, oh my God, Frank Vogel got fired. I wouldn't be shocked. But back to the comments that Jalen Rose made, right? Because he made some strong comments. I think Jalen Rose is beginning to see the writing on the wall. Beyond the fact that I don't think that Russell Westbrook is the best fit for the Lakers, even though he has been playing better as of late, I just don't think that this team is playing very well together, and I think Jalen Rose is beginning to see the writing on the wall. Here are some of the team stats, right? They're the number 14 team in the NBA in three-point shooting. They're number 27 in free throw shooting. That's not a big stat in the regular season. In the playoffs, it will hurt you because that's when the games slow down, and you need to be able to play in the half court. And if they foul you, you need to be able to make your free throws, especially late in games, where in playoff games, one or two points can decide games or even series, right? Now, on the rebounding side, they're the number 6 team in rebounding, which is good. However, they're ranked number 26 in turnovers, 15.8. That's a lot of free shots you're giving to other teams, and usually Russell Westbrook is one of the catalysts for doing that. But the most important stat, in my opinion, is their defensive rating. They're the 17th ranked defensive rated team. That is not good, and that, I believe, is the biggest issue. That's the biggest area for them, is their defense, right? Because the Lakers are not having a problem scoring this season, but they're having a problem stopping teams on the defensive side of the floor. It is an issue. And some people may say, well, they're right now, I think they're the number 8 seed in the Western Conference, so it's not going to be too much of a big deal. But in the playoffs, it will be. You need to be able to play great defense, especially in the half court. And also, we're going to get into some other things. We're going to talk about offense. Obviously, you got to look at Russell Westbrook and guys not being able to hit open shots, because obviously they're going to double off of somebody. He's probably going to be the man that they double off of, and he's going to need to make open shots. If you look at Anthony Davis, I think he's also part of the problem, because he's not a difference maker. He's putting up some decent numbers, but his stats are not leading to wins, at least on a consistent basis. And that's also an issue, which means that the team is a little bit too reliant on LeBron James, who I think is turning 37 years old this year. So these are not good signs. And I think Jalen Rose is starting to see the writing on the wall. And I think that's the reason he's beginning to change his position, because I think he's looking at the combination of all of these things, also factoring in their age, factoring in the fact that LeBron James is not a spring chicken anymore. And he's looking at all of this and saying, listen, man, I may need to have a change of heart. And that's exactly what he said. I can admit when I'm wrong, and he thinks that he's wrong. So what I want to know from you guys is this. Number one, what do you think about Jalen Rose's change of heart? Number two, more importantly, moving forward, what do you think this team can do to remedy this situation? Because he spoke about the fact how they kind of mortgage their future for the present by trading away Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, Lonzo Ball. These guys are flourishing in other markets with the New York Knicks, the Chicago Bulls, and I think the New Orleans Pelicans. So what do you think is the solution moving forward? Laker fans, basketball fans, whoever is watching this, first of all, let me know what you think the solution is. And secondly, what do you think about his comments? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.